My name is Philip Pacheco. I'm a documentary photographer. This is my camera, my 5D Mark II. This camera really allows me to have freedom with the type of shooting that I do. It's got a lot of high-end capabilities that allow me to get whatever shots that I need to. As a documentary photographer, I want to have a camera where I'm able to get as many shots as I can and be able to maximize the potential of my shots. And this camera really allows me to do that because it's one of Canon's high-end cameras. I'm going to be walking you guys through a couple of different techniques that I use in terms of holding the camera, the different types of lenses that I use, how to set up your lenses, how to keep your lenses clean, also how to use a tripod, the different functions of the tripod, and how they can help you out in your shooting. Okay, so this is Canon's 24 to 70 millimeter 2.8L lens. It's got a zoom range of 24 to 70 millimeters. That's from wide to normal. So if you were shooting a wide subject, you'd shoot it at 24 millimeters, like a landscape, for instance. And if you wanted to shoot a portrait of somebody, you'd shoot at 70 millimeters, which is down here. This is the zoom ring, obviously, zoom left and right, and this is the focus ring right over here. This is Canon's 70 to 200 millimeter 2.8 lens. It's got a zoom range of 70 to 200 millimeters. This is a lens that you'd be using to zoom in on a subject that's kind of far off in the distance. This is the zoom ring here, 70 to 200. This is the focus ring, and if you were using manual focus, you'd be spinning this ring around to set your focus point. This is Canon's 50 millimeter lens. It's considered a normal lens. Basically, what your eye sees is what the camera is going to see. So if you see if you want to just walk around and shoot, this is the lens you'd be using. I've got the lens cap on here. You always want to keep your lens caps on. That'll keep your lenses free of any dust or any fingerprints, and free of any damage that might occur from knocking it around. And with this one right here, this is Canon's 100 millimeter macro lens. It's got a maximum aperture of 2.8, so it allows a lot of light in, just like the other lenses we saw. It's a prime lens, so you don't have any zoom functions on here. All you have is a focus ring. So basically the only thing you'd be working with here on a prime lens is where you want the focus to be. I've currently got the back cap on here. This basically protects the other element of the lens here that your camera sees. You always want to keep this on as well, again, to keep any fingerprints, moisture, dust, any kind of damage off the lens. This is the body cap of the camera. Typically I have my lenses mounted on my camera, but if I'm going to be doing any type of maintenance, cleaning my lenses, anything like that, I always make sure that this body cap is on the camera to make sure that there's no dust or any moisture that gets inside the camera. You spin it off just like your lens would come off, and inside you can see the insides of the camera. I always keep this on again just to make sure that my camera is nice and clean. This is my tripod. It's a Benro tripod, very good brand of tripod. It's got a 5-way pan head on it. This pan head here is very important because it gives you a full range of movement, which is very important, very important for architectural subjects. It's got a bubble level on here that you can see right over here, and this level is very important because it makes sure that your shots are not crooked. So as long as that little bubble is centered up, then you know that whatever you have, whatever you're trying to shoot is going to be straight. The purpose of this hook is to hang a weight, so that if you're in any type of windy situations where the tripod is moving, or if you've got a really heavy camera on here, you want to make sure that your tripod is solid so that your image doesn't have any shake or any movement there. Right now the tripod is set to the lowest point. If you open this leg lock up, you can lift the tripod up and the legs will come out. You want to extend it to whatever height that you want it set to. When you lock the legs up, then you can go ahead and get your camera ready to mount onto the tripod. Now I have it set to 70 millimeters. If I wanted to zoom in on that subject, I'd spin it this way. The maximum here is 200 millimeters, which brings you pretty close to any subjects that are off in the distance there. This is the focus ring. If you're shooting on manual focus mode, you'd be using this ring right over here. Depending where you want that focus point to be, you'd be spinning it left or right, just until your subject's in focus.